Hey everybody, this is Tim with Freight Master Resources. It is April the 19th, 2020, and we are ready for another episode. So that being said, before I get started, if you guys could hit that subscribe button for me, hit that bell notification, like and share this video, I would be greatly appreciative of that. And so kind of jumping into it, I realize rates are down, volumes are down. We're in an overcapacity of trucks out there on the road. I think what is it? The average rate now is like 6 trucks, like basically nationwide. There's like an average of 6 trucks for every load that's available, right? So when I start seeing on Facebook posts of finger pointing at brokers, that's not really fair, right? Because obviously, there's no like huge conspiracy going on where all brokers are getting together every Sunday at noon to sacrifice a virgin so that we can screw over carriers on rates, right? A lot of these rates get handed down by shippers. Now, are there shippers out there that are still paying well? Yes. I've got customers that pay the same rate regardless of what the industry does. They pay decent. I've got other customers that they put everything out to bid. It's a race to the bottom, right? So keep that in mind before we start finger pointing, right? And I realize everybody's kind of caught in the feels. Everybody's emotional about things. But, before we start finger pointing, oh, well, this some carrier underbid me by $700 to get that load, or this broker's only offering X amount per mile, whatever the case may be. I'm not disputing that. But, obviously there's some unscrupulous brokers out there that are going to take advantage of the market conditions the way they are. And, maybe they're getting, $1.10 a mile, and they're like, oh, all I got in it's 50 cents a mile, or something. But this there again is where your relationships are so key, right? If you're stuck playing the spot market, and you're calling on a broker that you've never worked with before, or a broker you're not familiar with, yeah, you're kind of rolling the dice. You make the call to them, hey, I'm inquiring about this load. Maybe they give you a good rate, maybe they don't. I can't speak for every broker. I've had carriers call me. They wanted $4 or $5 a mile in this market. On a 1,000-mile run, best I could do was $220. $220 a mile, and I think in this market, $220 a mile is not. It's not that bad. As long as your overhead, your operating expenses aren't $1 or $2.35. When you look at things, let's try to at least be a bit coherent and logical about what's going on. When you start seeing rates drop across the board, there again, it's not that brokers are like I said, meeting every Sunday, saying, hey, it's time to do this. No, it's the way the market is. There's not enough freight. There's too many trucks. Simple as that, right? So shippers aren't ignorant. They're not completely blind, and market rates drop. There again, like I said, there's still exceptions to the rule all the way around. Whether you're a broker, a shipper, or a carrier, there are exceptions to the rule, right? Let's all just try to keep our heads. Guys, if you're a veteran that's, paid attention to the market over the years and realize that, you needed to prepare ahead for all those peaks and valleys in the market, right? And you can afford to stay home or, whatever, weather out the storm, congratulations. For those of you guys that are newer to the industry that are still maybe trying to figure things out, I'm sorry that this happened when it did. Partner yourself with a good broker or a good direct shipper. and do the best you can, I guess. I'm not going to get into a whole, best way to combat that right now. Like I said, I want to try to keep this video short, guys. All of that being said, if you're a new carrier or a fleet owner looking to reduce your expenses, okay, look to loadstop.com. All right, this TMS for you guys is just absolutely phenomenal. We all know that tech has been creeping in over the last few years, and it's getting more and more predominant. This particular software, I was always very critical of a lot of the tech because it just seemed a lot of it was not very different, to be honest with you. Loadstop.com absolutely is different. This thing will help you reduce your deadhead miles, keep you in those hot market areas. And if you look at although I believe it's in beta, I can see it, but the DAT, the freight forecast, maybe you've seen it on other channels. I know that there's been some other channels that have kind of highlighted this, that have access to it. The freight forecast, going a week out, like 90% or better of the country is in blue, which means it's cool, which means there's more trucks than there are loads, like a lot more trucks. And you see areas like Houston, for instance, where they're still kind of in the red. There's still a fairly decent amount of freight, just as an example. It's gonna keep you in those hot market areas if you're open to it. During when markets level off or are high, it's still going to keep you in those better markets and make you more profitable, right? Reduce your deadhead miles. It automates a lot of the process for you, so you can focus on doing what you should be doing, right? It handles the invoicing and all of these kinds of things. All right, if you guys haven't seen the previous videos, go back and watch it. I show sort of a back end look at all of that, guys. DAT, if you're trying to cut back on your expenses, there again, if I had one load board, this is one of the questions I get a lot in the group is, what's the best load board right now? And it's because they're trying to narrow it down to one load board, because load boards, you figure you're running $100 a month or better. I'm not gonna get into pricing and all of that, and you've got multiple load boards going on, guys. If you have one load board to use, DAT, just like Budweiser, it's the king of kings, right? So why would you not just go do that? And I'm going to drop a link down below for all this stuff for you guys. Free trial, demo for loadstop.com. The DAT, if you're a broker, you get 15 days free, to get started on that. And you carriers, 30 days free to get started on DAT. If you're looking to get into factoring, guys, it doesn't matter which website you go to. I got the Truckers Resource pulled up right now, or freightbrokerresources.com. Check that out. Get hooked up with Triumph. I've got a very good relationship with Triumph. I have a voice. So that being said, fill out that questionnaire. I'm going to forward that information on to them, and we're going to get you the best rate possible, right? And if you have any issues, any problems like that, down the line, hit me up. I'm here. All right. Just like I said, fill out the contact form. I will get it. I will respond, and we'll get you rolling. All right. Not too much else I really kind of wanted to talk about. Just before we do a lot of finger pointing and things like this, let's kind of take the grand scheme of things into consideration, right? I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Oh, before I forget, if you guys are looking at, right now is a great time to prepare. I realize, getting into new shippers, whether you're a broker or a carrier looking for direct freight from a shipper. Although if you are a carrier, make sure that your customer has a surety bond and all of that, especially right now, before you hook up with them. So, don't just be so eager to hook up with a customer direct. Make sure they've got their T's crossed and their I's dotted, all right? for your sake, for your safety's sake. Have that security net. Make sure that they've got a surety bond. All right, and find out what their days to pay are. Do your research. Education is key, right? So get it. But that being said, if you guys are looking for, shippers, I'm going to drop a link down below too for our shipper list. There's 121,000 and change prospects on there, right, for you guys to contact. So go ahead and hit that up. Guys, hey, I'm going to call it quits. And like I said, I wanted to kind of just keep this as short as possible. Stay safe out there. You drivers, I appreciate everything you do. And as always, be kind to one another. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.